It's not. I'm not saying Lavella's not a good coach. He's a good coach, but they've got player development people. They've got analytics people that are top notch, and I think that goes unnoticed. We talked about this last year. You look at the development track last year of the players that they had. Ketel Marte out of nowhere. Carson Kelly out of nowhere. Eduardo Escobar out of nowhere. Christian Walker out of nowhere. There was like 5 or 6 guys that were nobodies coming into the season and took off. That's coaching.
No doubt. And it doesn't matter if you win by 5 or you win by 1. A W is a W. And these games that they're winning close, which they had been until today was like a vacation. It was like Disney World. 10-1 over the A's.
Those are fun.
Oh, I mean, pick on a big boy too, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's... And I'll tell you, I think there's something wrong with Frankie Montas. I hate to say it, because he was so unhittable early on. I think there's an injury there because he got pulled, right, with back stiffness.
He didn't pitch over the weekend because of back stiffness. Remember?
I think there's more there than we're hearing right now.
Wouldn't surprise you to see an IL stint.
Yeah.
And so
I think they're trying to calculate that with AJ Puck. That's just my honest opinion.
They said Puck will not pitch in the rotation. Does that change if Lazaro can't pitch?
If Montas gets hurt. Yeah. So, we'll see. I mean, your boy Kapralin.
Former Yankee great, Kapralin.
Yeah, exactly. He'll get a look, I'm sure. I know he's got good stuff. There's another guy, I always forget. Simeon Richardson, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Richardson.
He's got good potential, but, I mean, to me, AJ Puck's where it's at.
So I got to talk about this now, and I want to get your insight on this. Winning by 1 or winning by 10. I'm looking at a box score right now. The score is 1-0 in the 4th inning. It may change because the team with nothing has second and third and no outs. But I'm talking about the Cubs and the Cardinals. And I look at the Cubs box score, and it's pretty simple. Ian Happ leading off tonight, 2 for 2 with a homer. In the 3rd inning off, Ponce de Leon, the world traveler. After that, 2 through 9, no hits for the Little Bears.
Yeah, it's an issue.
And Bryant gets a shot this afternoon in the wrist. I'm really concerned about Chris Bryant. And if he's getting shots in the wrist, that tells me it's got to be painful. And if you can't swing the bat, you can't hit the ball. But I'm really concerned. Javi Baez was cut in a league I'm in this week. I picked him up.
Got to.
He said 195.
That's okay.
Here's the thing. There's just not that much time left. So when do these players, whether it be a Baez, every team has them. Every team has somebody. Yelich was that way. Still isn't hitting very much on average because he was at 100 for a long time. When do these players, Rafael Devers, when do they ever start turning it on, Chappie? We don't have a lot of time left.
Well, and that's a really good point, and that's why this whole year, I mean, I've played in my leagues. I didn't run my league, but it changes things, right? So the leagues that I'm in a couple with you. I run it like my hair's on fire. I don't care about the name. I care about the stats. So I mean, it's
hadn't pitched 9 innings all year. He's constantly got a problem. He can't have any feeling in that hand. How can you hang on to him? I just think we're at a point where you have to make some tough decisions in fantasy. You've got your Giancarlo Stantons. You got your Bo Bichette's. What if you're short an IO slot? I have a real hard time cutting a Bo Bichette. I just do. Okay? I have a real hard time cutting a Stanton.
I probably wouldn't.
I think you got to hold on to. I'm in a league too, Chappie, where every team makes the playoffs. I think if you're in a league like that, you can afford to stash players like a Javier Baez.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're not in a league like that where you have 4 teams to qualify and your playoffs start in 3 weeks,
right,
it's time to make some moves. I listen to a lot of podcasts, you do too, and I hear a lot of things. But what you got to realize, and you guys listen to us tonight, and I was hoping to get some comments in our StreamYard comment shelf, but it all depends what kind of league you're in. You and I we're in a league last week. We're doing points. Boy, we knocked it out, didn't we? I mean, it was good, right?
Match, yeah.
It was good.
Yeah,
we had some fire. We had it going on.
Mm-hmm.
But you dropping players in there left and right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, for me, like how I do it, because a lot of these leagues are like daily moves. I build my bullpen. So in 1 week, I picked up Rosenthal, I picked up Montero, and I picked up there were 3 closers and scrub from Houston. Yeah,
you got to have a scrub.
Three closers in 1 week I picked up because you sit there and you watch it. It's just Andrew Miller.
Oh yeah, Tar Heel.
He's got 2 saves now. You have to pick him. He needs to be on a team. But that's the thing is, in a situation like this where the seasons are short, 1 save's a big deal. 1 win's a big deal. You need to pay attention to it because if it then turns into 2, they need to be rostered. Same thing. Dylan Moore's the same thing on offense.
Oh my gosh, you gave a good. I'm not going to kill that because you knocked it out of the park tonight. Good job. I was listening. Near the end of your show, you spend time on him. Great.
Yeah.
He's doing great. His hard hit rate. You talk about his barrel.
Oh.
How much better his averages are over the league averages. That's the kind of player you go and grab.
Exactly. So I left one thing out, and I got to get to it, so give me 1 second.
You got it.
I like to project, right? I like to sit there and talk about what a player is on pace for. So Dylan Moore, and I got to get down to this because I have it. Dylan Moore, if he were to play 160 whatever games, he's on pace to hit at his current rate. It's all the way down here at the end. He's on pace to hit. There he is. 39 homers and steal 48 bases. If he were to play at this pace for a full season. Well, I like doing that because that puts that in perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how well they're playing. So, would you take a player with 39 homers and 48 stolen bases on your team, Marty?
Yeah. Right now.
I mean, I'm not saying you could do that over the course of the whole year, but you'll take a month of that, right?
I'd take a week of it right now.
Exactly.
Because there's only 8 weeks in the season. That's 12% of your season. I'll take it for a week. And you and I were on the phone today. It's like you guys don't get this, okay? But some news breaks, a rookie's coming up. Chappie and I have another job, But we don't consider that. We'll just call each other. Hey, brother, did you see that move? Yeah, I'm all over it. But we spent some time talking about those Mariners.
Yeah.
Let's share that with our fans, shall we?
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, they're fun. They're another one of those teams out west that you get to watch a lot of. Julio Rodriguez would be up already if he didn't get hurt. And this Kelenic kid, as far as, you heard me gushing about Carlson tonight, I think this kid is maybe better. And I don't say that lightly. Like, I compare Carlson to Soto. So, to say that, that's the type of potential you're dealing with, I'm really excited to see what this kid has. He reminds me of Trout a little bit.
Ooh. Who reminds me of Babe Ruth a little bit.
No, seriously.
No, I
the
know.
type of player he is.
Well, look, for the Mets to be criticized as much as they've been criticized for this trade,
No.
they got Robbie Cano, don't you know, who's hitting 400.
Yeah.
Yet they're still criticized for letting him go to Seattle. So he's got to be the deal.
Yeah.
And I heard a little rumor this week. You know how we hear these things. And it was from the legend himself saying there's a chance that Kelenic may be up. So as soon as Lenny goes off the air, and I go off the air yesterday, I'm on the phone with the legend. Okay? I'm like, Lenny, what's going on? How surprised? I'm not going to be surprised at this point if anyone is called up. Kelenic and anyone else. I can't believe Mackenzie Gore's not up. I think it's this week. I think it's like Pache today. Nobody talks about it. Nobody hears about it. All of a sudden, Pache's a Brave. All of a sudden, Gore's on the mound in San Diego. All of a sudden, Jared Kelenic, the 21-year-old, with the 60 hit tool, with the 60 run tool, with the 60 power tool, is in the major league with the Mariners.
Totally agree. And it's just a matter of. I mean, here's the thing. Like, as bad as Seattle is, they've got some talent. They're actually a fun team to watch. They're not good.
No.
Kyle Lewis is having a great year. Shed Long shows a little bit of potential. There's some players. Justice Sheffield's a good pitcher. You know that.
Mm.
Sheffield's a good pitcher. You don't think so?
No, I know so. We gave him up for an injured Big Maple.
Yeah. But I don't think that's bad, Arn.
Nah.
He's not doing great right now. But I think when it comes down to it, I think Paxton's one of those guys that you always get that perception of, and then you look up at the end of the year, you're like, shoot, that wasn't bad. He misses about a month, but he still ends up with really good numbers. I think he puts up a couple really good years with you guys to end out his contract.
Let's hope, because he's still not found the velo that he lost. Right. I don't know where he lost it.
It's a weird year.
Yeah, I guess that's part of it. It is, and so true. I was listening to sports in general is just a weird year. Des Bryant's getting a tryout with the Ravens. Come on. I know you're getting ready for football. I just thought I'd throw a little football at you.
Thing.
That's true.
I know.
I'm not making it up. But it's a crazy sports year.
Antonio Brown too.
Did you hear about Alabama? Did you hear about their football team?
I can't wait to talk football.
Well, let's talk a little bit right now, because here's a prediction. Because I like to predict the future. I was the one last June when the Nationals were 10 games under 500. You know it. And I said, watch out for the Nats.
We talked ad nauseum.
You know I did.
I did disagree with you, Arnie Jones.
No, you didn't. You didn't. That's the thing. We see where we're coming from.
Pitching is what it came down to.
No doubt. And this year they don't have it.
No, they're struggling right now.
But Alabama announced today. It's interesting, isn't it? The SEC is going to play football through pandemic, through hurricane. It doesn't matter. They said today they're going to allow 25% capacity.
Crazy.
That's what they said.
Crazy.
That's a 120,000 seat stadium. That means 30 grand will be in that stadium, and I'll bet you 30 grand show up. Oh, you know it's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, but when Alabama does that, and let's say it works. Let's just be positive for a moment. Let's say it works. They spread it out. Nothing really major happens. How about these other sports teams?
Jerry Jones came out and said it, right?
Dallas is going to have fans.
Yeah, and whatever. I don't like to get into all that. I don't like to talk about all that. But here's what I am quite grateful for, Arnie. The Mountaineers playing the Big 12. Because given